Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV, and the Southwest TV Translator Association underwrites the news show.
If you have a news topic or tips you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show is live on Monday at noon and rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired on Thursday at noon, 3 and 6. Today is the lunar eclipse over the U.S., August 21st, 2017, and now the news at noon.
According to the Cortez Journal, the shooting death of a Dolores resident on Friday afternoon has been ruled a suicide, law enforcement officials said. Montezuma County Undersheriff Vern Knuckles said deputies responded about 4:30 p.m. to a report of a man with a gunshot wound in the 27,000 block of County Road S. When they arrived, a man was found dead with an apparent self-inflicted wound. Knuckles said he believed the caller and victim were the same person. An ambulance from Southwest Health System had arrived in the area by 5 p.m. Montezuma County Coroner George Devers was also on the scene to identify the victim and cause of death. He would not release the name of the victim on Friday, but Knuckles said more information would be available in a few days. Knuckles confirmed that no other person was injured, and the sheriff's office said it was not looking for any other suspect.
From the Cortez Journal, citing safety and cultural issues, Montezuma Cortez Schools has canceled today's eclipse viewing events. Montezuma Cortez School District RE1 on Friday posted a notice about the cancellation on its website, attributed to District Superintendent Lori Hawkins. The notice stated that students or parents with cultural beliefs surrounding the eclipse may be excused from class with notice to their school's secretary from a parent or guardian. The decision came about when, as a district, we really looked at the effects that could happen to students' eyes if they did not have the correct glasses on while viewing the eclipse, Hawkins said. All it takes is one student taking off those glasses. Schools will offer safer alternatives through virtual live stream viewing of the eclipse from inside the school. Students who stay at school will not be allowed to go outside the buildings between 10 a.m. and 1:15 p.m. for recess lunch or to view the eclipse. The district said it learned about disruptions in religious or cultural beliefs after receiving information from high school teacher Amelia Jo Chandler. Quote, if cultural beliefs hinder the student from eating lunch during the normal school lunch hour, parents may send a sack lunch with their student, Hawkins said. A time to eat their sack lunch will be provided at the conclusion of the solar eclipse. I respect the cultural traditions of our families and the safety concerns of parents, Hawkins said. We have 2 Native American staffers who educated us. The school's safety glasses that they won't be using, however, will be available at the Cortez Public Library. Library Director Eric Canoyo said library visitors will be limited to 1 solar viewer per person, and the library recommends a $1 donation for each. Dolores Elementary School plans to let students view the solar eclipse for 5 to 10 minutes during its darkest period, according to Principal Gary Livick. He said the school has about 150 NASA-certified solar viewers for students, and 2 teachers per class will be on hand to supervise the students. After the eclipse, students will have an indoor access recess for the rest of the morning. Brian Hansen, superintendent of the Mancos School District, said Friday morning that he wasn't sure what the school's plans were for the eclipse. The Montezuma Cortez District was not alone in changing its plans for Monday. Page Unified School District in Arizona changed its class schedule. Its students' population is about 75% Native American. According to traditional Native beliefs, viewing the eclipse could cause health and spiritual problems. Navajos warn against eating, sleeping, or being put in the sun while a solar eclipse is happening. You're not supposed to be out in the sun because nature does change. The atmosphere, the lighting, everything changes, Carlos Begay, a Navajo culture and language teacher at Page High School, told KPNX News in Phoenix. If you were to eat during an eclipse, it does cause eating disorders and even other things along the lines of disease. If you were to sleep during an eclipse, that's where sleeping deprivation comes from. Eye problems come from. That's where blindness comes from. The list goes on. As our news show is broadcast live from noon to 12:30, our team is currently experiencing the eclipse safely in the basement of the courthouse with lead vaults and bunker-style cinder blocks keeping out all light and dark.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a violent fire south of Cortez on Thursday evening destroyed a shop and nearly burned down a residence. An unattended burn pile that got out of control in windy conditions sparked dry grass, then quickly spread to a wood pile and the shop, said Cortez Fire Protection District Chief Jeff Vandervoort. Vandervoort was heading home for the day about 5 p.m. when he responded to an area of heavy black smoke at 6679 U.S. Highway 160 south of County Road G. There was fire everywhere, and explosions were coming from the shop with gasoline cans, ammunition, and tires, Vandervoort said. Cortez fire crews arrived in 5 minutes of the emergency call and quickly doused the grass fire and the corner of a residence that had begun to burn, saving the home. A nearby shed was also saved. There were no injuries, but the shop and Ford Bronco inside were a total loss. The grass fire also approached a neighbor's home, singeing their fence, but it was put out by fire crews in time. The fire began when property owner Gary Hara was burning refuse in a hole. When he went inside to call dispatch about the burn, the wind pushed the fire into some dry grass, and it quickly spread. Dispatch should, of course, be notified in advance, Vandervoort said. There were no burning restrictions Thursday, but controlled burns should not be started in windy conditions or left unattended without a ready water source, he said. Fire crews and equipment from Cortez, Mancos, Dolores, Lewis, and Toyoc responded to the fire, which was extinguished by 8 p.m. The Montezuma County Sheriff's Office also responded to the fire. No citations were issued.
A DCTV exclusive, the first annual Three Sisters Ag Fest and Zucchini launch turned out over 80 attendees at the Dolores County Fairgrounds, 4 miles west of Dove Creek this past Saturday, August 19th. Hosted by the Greater Dove Creek Chamber of Commerce, the Three Sisters, that is the historical companion gardening of corned beet and squash, was the ag-based theme along with the featured star, the zucchini. The biggest zucchini grown competition brought out some hefty entries. There was a winner for longest and for heaviest. The food competition brought out some excellent chefs, both home cooks and professionals. This year there were 2 categories, sweet or savory dishes featuring zucchini. After the judges made their final decisions, the dishes were brought out to the tasting table. For a $1 donation, you could sample the dishes on a tasting plate. The Kids Junior Catapult game had kids of all ages participating in launching slices of zucchinis towards the buckets. The Dolores County Farmers Market had a booth selling fresh produce, while a large bird specialist shared information on various types of trained predator birds. Food was in abundance, from the offerings of the Mancos-based lemonade truck to the Chamber's smoked pork sliders. Event t-shirts were popular, and the first rollout of the Dolores County Zero Waste efforts were showcased with free tote bags and plastic-only waste receptacles. Wake Up Laughing rocked the building with their cool sounds, mixing guitar, bass, and trombone with excellent drumming beats. They are headed to the studio to cut their first album. You can check that out and support their efforts on the GoFundMe page. This was all made possible by the generosity of the Chamber's membership and sponsors, Dove Creek Sinclair and Wild Coffee. Thanks also goes out to the support of the Dove Creek Press, the Rock, the Dolores County Fairgrounds Board, DCDC, and the Lemonade Truck. Dolores County Search and Rescue was on hand to monitor and judge the zucchini launch competition and has a vibrant orange t-shirt available that says, on one side, get lost. Thanks to their support and Kathleen Kiesling for working the announcement microphone. A couple of DC Rat Rods were also on display to promote next Saturday's 4th annual Rat Rod Nationals car show at the state line. Overall, for a first-year event, many members of the community came together to support and launch this new tradition for Dolores County. A big thank you from the Dove Creek Chamber of Commerce for all the support. Start getting ready for the 2018 event. The zucchini launch competition is sure to heat up. Photos from the event are on our Facebook page at DCTV News at Noon.
And according to the Cortez Journal, a truck driver was arrested north of Cortez on Monday on suspicion of second-degree assault and other charges after allegedly attacking another driver with a hammer. According to the arrest report, Montezuma County Sheriff's deputies responded to the 17,000 block of U.S. Highway 491 at about 5:47 p.m. after a 911 call about a road rage incident. A witness claimed 54-year-old Larry Rohde, the driver of the Balkan Express Freightliner truck, had attacked a FedEx truck driver after their vehicles pulled over to the side of the road. Rohde told deputies he was driving south on the highway behind another truck, which he said had slowed down to keep him from passing. He reportedly got into an argument with the driver, Eric Schwartz, on his Citizens Band radio. The FedEx driver, 50-year-old Craig Davies, who was driving behind Rohde, reportedly joined the argument, and Rohde threatened him. Davies said he pulled over to let Rohde pass, but Rohde pulled over too and left his truck holding a metal hammer. He said Rohde approached his truck while swinging the hammer and shouting that he was going to kill him. He allegedly climbed the steps of the FedEx truck cabin and punched Davies in the face through the open window, then struck the cabin door several times with the claw end of the hammer in an apparent attempt to hit Davies. When Davies shouted that he was calling the police, Rohde reportedly threw the hammer through the window and hit him in the shoulder. Davies estimated it would cost about $700 to repair the damage to his truck door. Schwartz, who made the 911 call, said he was driving at 65 miles per hour, his truck's maximum speed, when Rohde started arguing with him. Rohde was arrested on suspicion of second-degree assault, menacing, reckless endangerment, third-degree assault, and criminal mischief. According to the report, he had a previous criminal record, including convictions for assault. He is scheduled to appear in Montezuma County Court on August 23rd. And now let's take a look at the weather.
Regionally, a few showers and thunderstorms will fire up each afternoon, mainly over higher terrain. Moisture looks to increase somewhat today and for the rest of the week, which will allow for more coverage of showers and storms. As far as the eclipse is concerned, current trends on the morning of the eclipse today show some clearing across much of the regional area with mostly to partly sunny skies. There are some clouds moving into southwest Colorado and portions of eastern Utah, which may hinder perfect viewing of the eclipse. A complex weather pattern was in place over the southwestern U.S. early this morning. Low pressure remained over southern California with a separate low circulating over northwest New Mexico. Meanwhile, a mid-level high holds over the northern Rockies, with a chance of cloud coverage and light sprinklings in the northwest section of the western slope, Colorado. A disturbance ejected from a southern California low will get showers going Tuesday morning south of the I-70 corridor. Thereafter, rising temperatures destabilize the air mass and showers and thunderstorms will break out over the higher terrain to the north during the afternoon Tuesday. A cooling trend should continue into Tuesday for our regional area. Wednesday should remain similar with low chances of afternoon activity in the 20 to 30% range. Thursday afternoon remains the best shot at precipitation coverage for our area as a brief surge of moisture mixes over the eastern and Great Basin Four Corners. Winds may pick up by Friday, causing a greater chance of storm systems. However, right now, going into the weekend, a drier northwest flow sets up over the Rockies as the high builds over the Intermountain West, and storm coverage should decrease significantly. Seasonal temperatures should prevail. Flash flooding and severe weather will be possible from the upper Mississippi Valley to New England over the next few days. Heavy rainfall will continue across the southern Rockies today. A front, which has slowed across the upper Mississippi Valley and Central Plains, will act as a focus for showers and thunderstorms over the next few days. As it stalls across the upper Mississippi Valley and Central Plains, heavy rainfall leading to flash flooding and severe weather in these regions will be possible Monday. The threat of flash flooding will shift to the southern plains and northward into New England. A slight risk of severe weather will also be possible for New England and the Ohio Valley. An upper-level disturbance in combination with monsoonal moisture will give way to heavy rainfall in the southern Rockies and extreme western Texas area. Farther west, a slow-moving upper low off the California coast should give way to scattered to isolated shower activity across portions of California and the central Great Basin earlier this week. Heaviest rainfall can be expected in the Sierra Nevada mountain range. Elsewhere, isolated to scattered thunderstorms will be possible across the desert southwest each afternoon due to monsoonal moisture and daytime heating. In addition, typical afternoon thunderstorms will happen along the central and eastern Gulf Coast through the short-term period. Meanwhile, warmer than normal temperatures will occur in the Pacific Northwest and northern Rockies. Our local 5-day forecast is showing those continued chances of storm activity throughout the week, with temperatures decreasing from highs in the upper 80s to the lower 80s, while overnight temperatures are predicted to stay in the mid to lower 50s, clearing up for another nice weekend on tap. And now, back to the news.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, authorities identified the man who was killed in a rollover crash Friday night north of Hermosa as Reggie Hohenberg of Kirtland, New Mexico. The crash occurred at 6:05 p.m. near the top of Shallon Hill, where County Road 250 connects to U.S. Highway 550 between mile markers 37 and 38. Hohenberg, age 39, was driving a 1999 GMC Sierra white pickup when he went off the side of the road, overcorrected, and crashed. He was the only occupant in the vehicle, said Captain Adrian Driscoll of the Colorado State Patrol. He was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the accident and was ejected from the vehicle. Driscoll said there is evidence that suggests Hohenberg was text messaging before the accident. His phone shows text messages being sent and received minutes before the crash.
Reported from the Durango Herald, President Donald Trump's proposed cuts to the federal budget could be felt locally, with home ownership assistance, infrastructure construction, and air service among the areas affected. Colorado Municipal League, a nonpartisan group that represents cities and towns across the state, is concerned. Sam Mamet, executive director of the league, said it's not a really good budget in terms of strength and partnership between Washington and local governments. This month, the league called on cities and towns to contact the Colorado congressional delegation to oppose the cuts. U.S. House bill proposed scaling back some cuts in the 2018 budget, which is supposed to be approved October 1st. The president proposed cutting the Transportation Investment Generating Economic Recovery Grant Program that has paid for $4.6 billion in infrastructure projects since it was started in 2009. A U.S. House bill also proposes eliminating the program in 2018. Elimination of that program could increase competition for transportation infrastructure grants in a state where there is never enough money to go around. The president has promised to boost funding for infrastructure projects, but his plan may rely on partnerships with the private sector, which would not work as a financing tool for rural roads, according to Sidney Zink, Transportation Commissioner for District 8 of the Colorado Department of Transportation. We do not receive enough income from our lending activities to fund our operations. We're dependent on CDBG administration fees, as well as the generous funding of our grantors, in order to fund our operations, she wrote in an email. However, Palmer said it's unlikely CDBG funding will be cut. The program also supports public housing, homeless facilities, food banks, mental health facilities, child care, and senior services.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, following a Colorado Supreme Court ruling, Kinder Morgan has informed Montezuma County that it will stop claiming a contested tariff deduction on their tax filings, County Assessor Leslie Bugg reported on Monday. Kinder Morgan produces carbon dioxide from drilling operations in Montezuma and Dolores counties. Kinder Morgan has been claiming a transportation tariff deduction for delivering the gas through the Cortez pipeline, resulting in a lower property tax bill to Montezuma County. But after a 2008 audit, then County Assessor Mark Vanderpool denied Kinder Morgan the deduction, stating that because its ownership interests in the Cortez pipeline made the company a related party, it didn't qualify for the deductions. As a result, the company's assessed value was raised and it had to pay an additional $2 million in taxes in 2009, which was distributed throughout county special districts, schools, and governments. Kinder Morgan challenged the county's denial of the tariff deduction in court and continued to claim it while the issue was litigated. In June, the Colorado Supreme Court ruled that the county was correct in denying the tariff deduction. Bugg said Kinder Morgan's tax filings between 2011 and 2017 will undergo audits and will result in back taxes owed by the company after they are recalculated without the tariff deduction. Kinder Morgan is the main carbon dioxide producer in Montezuma County and pays for a significant portion of tax revenues collected by the county. In 2015, the oil and gas industry contributed 62% of county tax revenues. In 2016, the industry contributed 54% of the total.
Announced in the Cortez Journal, just a few months after Pepperhead Restaurant closed, two of its former employees are opening their own restaurant in the same spot. Mickey and Sandra Colorado are in the final stages of preparing Sobre Mesa, a 1920s-themed speakeasy, bakery, and restaurant for its opening on Cortez's Main Street. The couple said they hope to make it a different kind of restaurant than anything Montezuma County has seen. Their goal is to hold a soft opening within the next few weeks. The couple bought the Pepperhead building from its former owners, Tess Montaño IV and Pete Montaño, just before the 8-year-old Mexican restaurant closed. Although both Colorados have worked in restaurants for years, this will be their first time opening their own. Mickey studied culinary arts through international hospitality program Le Cordon Bleu, and he said he spent several years studying the cuisines of different countries and cultures in preparation to open his own restaurant. Sandra's specialty is mixology, so she'll be in charge of the cocktail bar while Mickey designs the menu. We decided to do something different for Cortez, Sandra said. You don't really see these kinds of restaurants in Cortez. They're usually in Durango, Telluride, and bigger places. Prices will be similar to Pepperhead's, Sandra said, but she wants the restaurant to feel like a fancy establishment. Mickey said he plans to serve a wide variety of food, from oven-fired pizza to Cuban sandwiches to Spanish paella. The menu will also change regularly, he said, as he phases out recipes and tries new ones. Although the hours haven't been set in stone, Sobre Mesa will be open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Speakeasy will be the main attraction, though, and that side of the business informs its atmosphere. With the help of headline cook John Dufer and a few other employees, the Colorados have almost completely transformed the restaurant's interior into a warm-colored, dimly lit bar with dark-stained wooden tables and well-stocked whiskey shelves. The only thing that hasn't changed is the mountain landscape painted on the walls of the front room. The couple said they wanted to keep that because it represents Colorado. But the rest of the building is meant to feel like the Roaring '20s, one of Colorado's favorite historical eras. To complete this speakeasy atmosphere, customers will be able to get special deals by giving a weekly password at the door. The, quote, secret passwords will be available on the restaurant's website. Mickey said that once the restaurant gets going, he hopes to host mystery dinners and other old-fashioned events. For now, though, he and Sandra are focused on hiring the rest of their kitchen staff and getting their certifications from the Montezuma County Health Department and the Cortez Fire Protection District. Their goal is to be fully open on September 1st.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of August 14th through the 20th. Steers were loose on County Road P and the owner was contacted. The owner responded and was able to get the animals secured. A power surge occurred on Monday morning that took out equipment in the county building, including the main radio communication terminal in the sheriff's office. A contractor working on the site of the new county shop lost a DeWalt power drill from the back of their truck. Please return the drill to the sheriff's office if one is found so we can return it to its owner. A resident motorist reported a cow loose on Highway 141. The owner of the cow was contacted. A resident motorist reported a vehicle traveling on Highway 491 into Monticello at speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour and passing unsafely on a double yellow. San Juan's Sheriff's Office was notified to respond. A resident reported losing a wallet in town. If anyone locates lost items such as wallets or keys, it is always a good idea to turn them in to the Sheriff's Office so they may be safely returned. A resident reported a suspicious vehicle in front of a county commercial property. Officers responded and it was confirmed that the vehicle was stolen out of Cortez. A Montezuma County deputy responded to investigate the scene and the vehicle was turned over to its owner once cleared. Residents are strongly encouraged to report any suspicious vehicle or activity. A juvenile received a summons for careless driving causing injury. That's it for today's roundup. Stay tuned for continuing updates.
And in today's High Canyon Country happenings, Southwest Colorado Accelerator Program for Entrepreneurs will hold its 2017 Startup Showcase and Investor Social from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. August 30th in the Student Union Ballroom at Fort Lewis College, 1000 Rim Drive. Participants will meet the SCAPE class of 2017. Southwest Colorado startup companies talk to entrepreneurs and investors and discover investment opportunities that support the local economy. The event is free and open to all. To register, the link is on the DCTV News at Noon Facebook page. Saturday, August 26th at Buckley Park in Durango from 1 to 5 p.m., the 19th annual San Juan Brew Fest is presented by Chevron. It's the premier beer tasting festival in the Four Corners. 50 breweries, 100 plus beers to taste, 2 live bands, and tons of fun, all to benefit United Way of Southwest Colorado. The Brew Fest has sold out for 3 years in a row, and we expect to sell out again, they said. Get tickets and all the event details at sanjuanbrewfest.com. Prices range from $15 to $70. General admission is $30. All of the happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. It's dcbnnews@gmail.com or call us at the station 677-4119 and we'll be sure to get your news on air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs live at noon Monday through Wednesday and then rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order at noon, 3, and 6.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook. It's DCTV News at Noon. We've hit 100 likes, so please like us there and continue to share it with friends.
For Kendra Cook and everyone at DCTV with the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.